While Lena Valerian has died, so have the Strongs, the former hand of the king, Lionel, as has Harwin Strong. So with that, and we saw this play out last episode, with that, Larys is now the leader of House Strong. He's inherited his father's property. He has helped bring back Hightower. And it's not just a matter of that, because if you recall, Lionel was ready to step down his hand, but Viserys rejected that. Honestly, if Viserys had not rejected him, kind of abdicating his position, him and his son would still be alive, or at least would have been alive for a little bit longer, because it seems like it wasn't just a matter of Larys being with it to bring back Hightower, but also that part of it was to take over his family's seat. So if not then, it would have occurred at some point in time. But here it is that while they're certainly mourning Laena, that Rhaenyra and her sons as well have cause to mourn for their own loss, which would be the loss of Sir Harwin Strong. And Rhaenyra's son actually states this. When she tells her son to go and comfort his cousins because of their loss of their mother, he expresses, well, I've suffered a loss in Harwin Strong, because at this point he now knows that Harwin Strong is his father. It's like they've lost a mother, and that's certainly sad, but he's also lost a father, a very important father figure in his life. And here it is that, given the nature of their birth, the nature of their relationship between Rhaenyra and Harwin, where it was like a secret relationship, they can't openly mourn. It's like they've lost this person that's incredibly important to them. He has lost his father. She has lost her lover, and you could arguably say like her true husband, let's say her private husband then, because he's the father to her kids. You can see that he plays a role in their lives as, protector and also actively being a part of their lives. She suffered a great loss as well. But given this secret liaison of sorts and this marriage of convenience, or rather PR marriage, that her and the children can't openly mourn this tremendous loss. A theme that you see throughout this episode is that there's a lot of lies and secret alliances and things like that that have come about in the previous 6 episodes. But the reality is that people can lie, yes, but they can only lie about themselves for but so long. And so here you have it that people's true selves are becoming apparent. You think about Rhaenyra and Laenor, where they worked out this marriage between themselves, with him being gay, her wanting her freedom and whatnot, and really to get her father off her back about getting married. The two of them marry, and for the most part, their situation seems to work for them. But you have these outside forces that kind of get in the way of things, where with the loss of his sister, Laenor is deeply upset, which is completely understandable, and is mourning her loss. And it's notable that, his parents know what's going on and whatnot. Like, they've known that he's gay. They know, obviously, that he's married Rhaenyra. They've heard the rumors and whatnot. And his father kind of puts things out on Front Street, in that when Laenor goes off by himself to mourn, number one, I found it surprising that he didn't go himself. He doesn't send Laenor's wife to go get him. He doesn't send Laenor's children to go get him, granted that they're a bit young, or even Laenor's mother, right? He sends Laenor's current lover to go and retrieve him, and it's like he's the one to give him comfort. He's the one to pull him back in. Whereas it kind of looks funky, because you would think like your wife would comfort you in that moment. A bit later, we see Rhaenyra and Daemon off on their own talking, where it's like her and Laenor have this agreement that for appearances they're going to be married, but they'll both be free to pursue their own interests. And it's like, there's still an expectation that they'll handle their responsibilities and do what's expected of them, do what's required of them. But Rhaenyra is starting to feel like she's holding up her end of the bargain, but Laenor is not. Where there would be some expectation of discretion, that it shouldn't be so obvious that this is kind of a sham marriage, right? And some of it can be, saltiness because he still has his lover, whereas she's lost hers. We never really see any kind of a romantic exchange between her and Harwin, right? It's rather just implied, but there is some intimacy there, as we saw from him saying goodbye to her and the boys, right? And she actually laments it here that she should have done more to stop him from leaving. And so it's like, I think some of the disappointment that she expresses with regards to Laenor is not really fair to put on him. It's more so that she's upset that she's lost her lover, and he still has his, and he's still carrying on and whatnot. And there's like loneliness on her side, right? She's lost this person who has been an important part of her life and the life of her children. And as part of that, much as the kids, that she can't really mourn this loss openly, Whereas Laenor, it's a different situation. He's lost his sister, but he's able to openly mourn the loss, and then at that, he's able to mourn this loss, but then he also has his lover to offer him support. Who does she have? And in that desperation, here goes them with the uncle-niece inappropriateness, and I just can't get with it. From there, they pick back up with this incestuous relationship and consummate this relationship, which is still, I'm sorry, but it's just gross.
Thanks for tuning in. To ensure you don't miss any episodes, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, go ahead and click the thumbs up button if you like what you saw, and go ahead and share it on social media.